Welcome to Toffee TV. It is an instant match reaction. Manchester City 2, Everton 1. Everton's first defeat in 4 weeks, is it, since the Merseyside derby? If you do not include the penalty shootout, of course. Disappointing result. Disappointing performance, but not wholly unexpected. Obviously, Everton dealt a problem from the warm-up, really, with Bernard getting injured and Tom Davies coming into the side. And I don't know how much of effect that had on the team in the way they were set up to play. But certainly today we never got going, and I think that midfield was a really big part of it. Not brave enough, no one willing to break the lines. Sigurdsson, Delph and Tom Davies far too rigid, weren't willing to go forward and help give that support to Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who found themselves quite isolated. And even Sidibe playing in that right wing-back role really never got forward. And I thought that was one of our big issues today. We never really went long enough into areas that could hurt them. And when we did, City were allowed to come out really easily because our midfield wasn't backing up the forward line. And the funny thing was, Carlo Ancelotti was screaming at the team to get forward, to play forward passes. But it's that inherent negativity or nervousness or just how these players are. They did the safe option, and ultimately that's what led us to, it didn't lead us to get beat, but that's what meant we never have any kind of sustained pressure in the game to put Man City under any pressure. And really the only sustained pressure came when Carlo Ancelotti dictated how we played by putting the subs on, by putting Moise Kean on, by putting Theo Walcott into the game. And that was the first time. So he might have to realise, well, I'm sure he will realise, that it's how he actually sets teams up. And maybe that's what I'm saying, with not having Bernard in the team might have been a big important factor in that. It's how he sets the team up. It's how mentally the team approaches the game. If you have more attacking plays on, we're going to attack more, and vice versa. So he'll know. The midfield was just really slow as well. You know, Delph, Sigurdsson and Tom Davies. I don't know where Tom Davies was playing today. He had a horrendous game. But Sigurdsson wasn't much better. And Delph wasn't much better than Sigurdsson. So them three were really poor. And I think, you know, this is not something that's just suddenly happened. We know we need players. We know we need good players. We know the players we've got aren't good enough. A lot of the players we haven't got aren't good enough. It's just that the players who are good have been putting their shifts in the last month. The likes of Richarlison. It wasn't great today, but, you know, pops up and gets a goal. Dominic Calvert-Lewin again, isolated. So it was one of those performances where you could tell that for the last 4 weeks. It was a game that you don't want after that kind of 4 weeks or that kind of Christmas period. We never looked on it. We never looked sharp. And, you know, I'm looking forward to that point after the Merseyside derby where we do only have one game a week, basically. And Carlo Ancelotti can start trying to get across his message on the training ground day in and day out. And and hopefully, don't know if we will, but hopefully we can bring in a couple of players, or certainly get a couple of players back, the likes of Gabama maybe, and have someone in midfield who's versatile, who can get up and down, who can back up the forwards. Because as I said, I think that was completely missing today. The goals we conceded were soft. I honestly think Jordan Pickford could have done better with both of them. The first one he gets a hand on, and I always think if a keeper gets a hand on a ball, he should save it. And the second one was at his near post. Not quite shifted that cold yet. And I think he should be doing a little bit better. But they've beaten us without, they didn't really have a lot of the big guns playing, although Kevin De Bruyne did dictate the way of the game. And they did what they needed to do. They obviously had the goal disallowed first half, rightly so, through VAR. And then we had the ridiculous situation where one of their players is given offside, and yet they check for a penalty, and it just makes VAR look like an absolute farce, that kind of thing. But ultimately today, I just think it was a case of some bad habits reappearing and some of our better players being knackered and the game plan not going to plan. And don't underestimate how important Bernard not playing was as well. He was the player who links the midfield And we saw this against Burnley, the midfield with the forward line, and Tom Davies simply can't. I mean, Tom Davies doesn't even look fit. He can barely run. He's got a bleeding thing on his knee. He can barely run. And the fact that our midfield was so slow, I think, gave Man City a massive leg up. But they're a possession-based team, the best in the league, one of the best in Europe, if not the best in Europe. And, you know, they wore us down, and maybe that took the belief away from us that we could make things happen. Because when they were, as I said, when we were sending long balls forward, we were not doing anything with them. But, you know, we went 2-0 down, we got a goal, fair play, good work from Moise Keane, good ball in from Walcott, whether it was a shot or a cross, and Richarlison, who's hardly done anything all game, has put it in at the far post. But listen, I'm not going to sit here and criticise them all, because I think that's just stupid to do that. And I've seen people on social media criticising Richarlison. Lads worked his bollocks off every single game. Richarlison and other players. This is not the time to do that. It really isn't. It's not the time to do that. We've had a really good last 4 weeks. You know, and you come off that Merseyside derby. If you told me you come off the Merseyside derby, conceded 5 goals, your next defeat would be against Manchester City, then I'd be like, you know what, I'll take that. And yes, we could have done better today, but physically we don't know how those players are. We only made 2 subs. So what does that say about the players who are on the bench as well, if we're only making 2 subs? Andy Gordon was about to come on, but they decided not to do that. So the manager's not happy. He'll know what he wants. He'll know the players he wants to bring in. And hopefully, you know, after Sunday's game against Liverpool, we can maybe start to see more performances built on a lot more tactical stuff, and players starting to understand what they need to do. I think some of our players today didn't do what they were told to do by the manager, and that's what will frustrate the manager most. And they're the kind of players you actually have to get rid of, because if they don't believe in what the manager wants because they're trying to play it safe, then you get rid of them. Get rid of those players and you bring in your own players, better players, more confident players, players with more belief. You get rid of those players, and it doesn't matter who those kind of players are, but I think maybe Gylfi Sigurdsson's one of those players. And you get rid of those kind of players and you bring in players who believe in what you're trying to do and believe that your team can go forward and be aggressive. And if you concede a goal, then so be it. You go back out and you try and get the next goal. And that's what we need to see from Everton teams. That's what good teams do. They believe in a way of playing. And even if you concede, they keep doing because it's the right way. And I think, listen, the manager's been in a job a week, basically. It ain't going to be there. It's going to take time. But listen, we've had a decent December. Not the greatest start of the year, but I feel a lot more positive sitting here now on the 1st of January after the defeat than I did on the 1st of January in 2019 after the defeat. So, onwards and upwards. Merseyside derby to look forward to on Sunday in the FA Cup. Got to do better. Got to believe we can go and win it in front of 8,000 Evertonians at Anfield. And if we do, then we might. Simple as that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be back with my player ratings. Basil will have his match reaction and his 3 things from today. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe, click the bell so you know exactly when videos are coming out. And if you want more great videos, join us over on Patreon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you.